everybody, and welcome to the Dr. Music Podcast once again. And I want to thank all the subscribers. It's because of you that I can bring great artists like this one right here. I have Mr. Bryan Jay sitting in with me today. Bryan is the former guitarist for Keel and the current guitarist for a band called Dogbone, which features another former member of Keel, drummer Dwain Miller. Dogbone has recently released a single called Speed Kills on a compilation record called Live the Rock, who a lot of the subscribers will know, having Ron Keel on the show many times. That is RFK Media, Ron Keel's label. It's all in the family with Keel today. Bryan is going to take us through the Dogbone timeline and tell us what the future might hold for him and the band. Bryan, it's great to have you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Scott. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Big Keel fan. Grew up listening to you. Thank you for all those years, and
Oh, hey,
it's
our pleasure.
it's really cool,
It
man.
was, it was a wild ride, and Keel is still together. I mean, we're not officially
Right. Well, Ron's got.
broken up.
Yeah, I hate to talk about it in the past. I mean, you guys have come together every so often to Streets of Rock and Roll is really what stands out to me. What a great album that was. You come together every now and then. We got Keel Fest going on.
Right.
It's great to see you guys, the camaraderie still there, the brotherhood. Really, really great.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Geez, we're going on almost 40 years this next year,
It's
and
great.
you know, had a 20-year hiatus in there, and
Yeah.
but hey, we're still all best of friends and brothers, and
Yeah.
like a marriage, you spend so much time together. Everybody grows up and moves out and goes
Yeah.
on their own journeys.
Yeah, and that's great, man. And on your journey, you've got really some really cool stuff. You've been busy. But let's talk about Dogbone. A really interesting timeline for Dogbone because you were there in the mid 90s, early 90s. You released that Dogbone self-titled album. I think it was 94, right? Um, what happens? We kind of gets lost, and then now we got it coming back. Tell me about Dogbone and the origins of Dogbone and where we're going right now.
Yeah, well, Dogbone, when I left Keel, like 89, 90, somewhere around there. And first person I called, my friend Eddie Size. I was actually in a band, the vocalist, original vocalist of
Mhm.
Dogbone.
Right.
Him and I were best of friends, and we had a band before I joined Keel. And so called him and we started writing songs. And it was like I just had all this music, you know, driving me crazy not to get
Yeah.
it out there.
Right.
And we put a band together with Dwain from Keel and eventually Rob Thiessen, Canadian.
Mhm.
Uh, he joined in like 90, 91, and we just started playing gigs. We were just writing and writing, playing gigs, and we did some demos.
Mhm.
So trying to put it together, trying to get a record deal, do what you did
Yep.
all that time. But right at that time, things started changing in the music business.
Sure did.
The 80s bands were just companies didn't want them. The Nirvana was hitting the
Yep.
grunge scene, and a lot of us from the 80s suffered during that time. It's kind of
Yep.
they didn't want anything to do with us. So it was a tough time to put together an 80s type rock band in the 90s, at least
Right.
early 90s. So eventually, uh, well, let me go back a little bit. We played a lot of gigs in Hollywood, with the Whiskey and Florentine Gardens and
Right.
the South Bay area. I think Dancing Waters clubs and like Orange County. Forget the names of those clubs, like Concert Factory, I believe, was one.
Okay.
But we did a lot of gigs, and just things were going pretty good, and things the whole music business changed right during that whole period of time, and we were just having a difficult time.
Yeah.
the singer left, and eventually uh, Brett Forrester, who was from Riot,
Yeah.
and he moved out to California to pursue our project here.
Wow.
And Rhett and I just hit it off right away. We started writing songs like the first day we were in a room together.
Yeah.
And he was just an amazing talent. The guy's the bluesy rock voice that he had, just really
Incredible.
at the time with the music I was writing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we started demoing songs. It was short lived. We didn't spend that much time together. So maybe like 4 or 5 months, 6 months
Wow.
maybe. And we started demoing songs, and we never got out to play a gig with Rhett. And the whole thing just kind of fell apart. We couldn't get any interest, and it was just a tough time, financially and
Yep.
all that.
Yeah.
So, Rhett, we parted ways, and went on to other projects. So there's a big gap in there from Dogbone from like 1993 to Dogbone today.
Right.
It really started, the new project started, it was the last Monsters of Rock cruise that Keel did.
Okay.
And Dwain and I, the drummer from Keel, Dwain Miller,
Yep.
we did, we've always wanted to do something together, side projects, or, love Dwain, he's my brother from another mother.
Yeah.
We play very well together. It's just such a great drummer. I mean, he just lives and breathes drums.
Yeah.
I think he plays in like 20 different bands right now.
I love it, man.
So we were talking on the cruise, like, hey man, we should put something together, because Keel's not doing very many shows.
Right.
We did not know the pandemic was going to hit.
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
this is right like a week before the pandemic hit.
Wow.
So we were like, yes, we started, talking about it, and I go, I have the singer that I'm working with. I own a music library. I do music for film and TV and
Hmm.
promo and anything you need music for. And I've been working with a singer, Bob Reynolds, and we were writing songs for my library. And we would write a song and we'd go, damn, that's really good, man. We should put a band together. With Dwain and I talking, and then Bob and I talking, I was like, Dwain, I got the singer.
Yeah.
Let's find a bass player and let's put something together. And as I just said, the pandemic hit, and we kind of, put it aside, struggling through the couple of years there that, there was actually no music business really.
Right.
Yeah. Thank God I had my library business, but that even,
Yeah.
it wasn't good for everybody.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but I was still writing songs with Bob, and, approached him with the idea, and he was all in. So Speed Kills was one of the songs we were working on, and that ends up being the first single on RFK Media, Ron
Yeah.
Keel label.
Yep. Yeah.
Live the Rock Volume 1.
Yeah.
And
Live
anybody
the rock.
looking for it, go to,
Live the rock.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's a great compilation. A lot of stuff on there. A lot of great new bands for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that song just kind of, you know,
It's great, man.
it killed,
Yeah.
and so we're I'm writing. I went into, we all live in different cities, first of all. So it's very difficult to
Right.
everybody to get together and play in one room, which we haven't even done that yet.
Right.
We each have our own studios, except for Dwain. So I went to Phoenix. He lives in Phoenix, Arizona,
Okay.
and we went there and recorded drums. And so we've got some songs in the cans.
Cool.
So right now, working on the next single, should be out probably the end of January, February next year,
Great, man.
with video. And so,
That's
let everybody know when that comes out.
yeah, absolutely, man. That's exciting. I that was my first thought is I want more, man. This is such a great tune.
Me too.
Yeah, man.
Wanted more and more.
It's cool. And you mentioned Bob Reynolds and Seven Angels.
Yes.
Had Josh Egan on the show a couple of years ago now, probably, and Mark Slaughter with Seven Angels. Is Bob still working with Seven Angels?
I'm not really sure what's going on with them.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
hasn't said anything lately, so I'm not really sure.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, but he is a member of Dogbone.
Yes.
He is on all,
Yeah.
he's going to be your singer for all the tracks.
Yes.
That's great, man.
Actually, the next two songs here he's already done, so you'll be hearing it soon.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome because he is a great one. He
Yeah.
is great.
Very good singer, and we write very well together. Like it's it was like we've known each other forever. I mean, I've known him about 10 years now, but
Uh,
we just clash very we don't clash like bad, but
yeah,
clash
right, right.
good, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
there's a
going well.
magic, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
That's cool. And chemistry for writing is really what it's all about, isn't it? I mean,
And he's a great writer, man. He's a great lyricist.
yeah,
So everything that we've done together, I'm really happy with. I can't complain at all. Looking
yeah,
forward to doing a lot more.
yeah. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Now you mentioned the first Dogbone record, and it's with Rhett. And sadly we lost Rhett in '94. Senseless. That's brutal, brutal. Um, but I believe the album is came out in '96. It actually came out. Did you hold the album? Was it? I think it was because he died in '94 and it came out in '96. So you had it for a little while in the can, right?
Yeah, well, let me take you back. That wasn't really meant to be an album.
Okay.
Actually, the songs on that are just demos.
Wow.
We actually the songs we did the rep, we did like I think 8 songs on there. We did that all in one day. We just
Oh man.
good and just laid it down. So it was just demos. We weren't ever thinking of like releasing that as an album. We were looking to get a deal and maybe
Okay.
go in the studio record.
Wow. Oh, that is
When you listen to that, you can tell you listen to it. Although the vibes there, but it was in the demo process.
man. And that's there's a rawness and an urgency and a lightning in a bottle kind of thing
Yeah,
that comes with something like that.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. And that is
Didn't
much
have much
sought
time
after.
to think about it, so it was like just go in
Right.
it.
Right, right. And sometimes, when you polish it a little too much, it might shine a little brighter than you really want it to. It's
Not polished.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, much sought after, right? Now, things going for major dollars, it's very hard to come by. Um, so we won't see like a reissue of that with the latest singles and stuff like that, or maybe possibly redo those songs.
I mean, anything's possible. I mean, right now I'm writing all new material, so
Right.
it's like you know maybe maybe one or two of the songs. I don't know yet.
Okay.
It's not. I'd love just to do new music.
Sure.
That was
Sure.
like how many years ago? 30,
Right.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like doing all new music is my goal. But
Definitely.
some songs that could be redone and polished up, and
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that
It's,
that's
it's
for sure.
it's
Maybe.
nostalgia. That memory from back in the day is always it's always nice to we give a
Well, it's
little.
different when
Yeah.
I was writing in the 80s and 90s. I write differently today,
Okay.
even though it's similar, but just
Is your process different, or just your approach? And of course, I mean the things that are going on around you have changed, and the lifestyles have changed a little bit,
that's
and
absolutely.
acceptability of some things, and just moving on with the times. But I mean, your process, the way you write, where you are when you write, writing the music first, writing the lyrics first, that kind of thing, has that changed for you over the years?
Not really. It's I mean, I'm not so much of a lyricist. I write some lyrics, but I'll come up with like a basic idea, and I've always worked with singers that write lyrics.
Right.
So, I might have a title or a verse or a chorus, or, you know, like an outline of my idea. And because I like to collaborate, and, because I'm not a singer. So it's like a singer's going to have a totally different approach to the song, and be better than what I would come up with. So I a lot of times I'll come up with an idea. Usually I have all the music written pretty much. Maybe the arrangement will change, or I'll add an ending, or a different lead section or something. But basically I usually write the music first, or it kind of happens different ways. So one day I'll have a title in my head, and I'll
Right.
go Speed. That's how Speed Kills came about. I had the title Speed Kills. I'm like, okay, I gotta have music that's fast.
Right.
So like, you're driving 100 miles an hour down the road.
Right.
And so I wrote the music, and I gave that to Bob. Said, hey, I got this title Speed Kills. Here's a track of the music. And he wrote all those lyrics and melodies. And
Wow. Cool.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good song, man. We should start a band.
I love it, man. It's cool. It is
Oh,
great.
it is different ways. I mean, I play guitar pretty much every day. So it's like I might come up with something. I'll get out of bed, pick up my guitar, and go,
Yeah.
hey, that's a cool riff. I'm gonna work on that. Or, anytime during the day. I have guitars all over the house in the studio. You never know when you're gonna come up with an idea.
It's cool, man. It's cool.
But then I got to record it really quick, because
Right.
it just like
Because it's
yeah,
gone, and then the
it's
second
gone.
later.
That pisses me off when I have a great riff, and I don't have time to go record it, and I gotta remember that, and then it's gone.
Yep. Yep. I hear that so often, and the iPhone and everything is really a handy tool now.
Absolutely, I should use it more.
Yeah. Um, Now it says in the press release you worked on the Def Leppard biopic.
Yeah.
Uh, did some arrangements and guitar for that. How was it like? What was it like working in that kind of a realm?
Oh, it was awesome. It was great. I actually was hired to put a band together, and so all the scenes of Def Leppard, like when they're teenagers and rehearsing and playing
Yeah.
shows, it was actually us playing. And,
Wow, that's
and
awesome.
it was a pretty good experience. We had a great time. I mean, Robin McCauley came in and
Yeah.
sang.
Oh,
Jeff Pilson, Jeff Pilson from Dokken and Foreigner, he was on bass.
man,
Tim Pedersen was drums. He was amazing.
man, oh
It
man,
was a fun time. We
yeah,
got we got to some of the tracks. Mutt Lang gave the producer, and we took like the guitar out, and I played guitar over the track to fit the scene of the movie. Like they had the scene playing, and they wanted. So it was pretty cool listening to all those tracks. Me and the engineer had a great time, like
yeah,
solo different sections, and it was a lot of fun.
yeah, man, that sounds great. That's an opportunity that not everybody gets. That's a
Yeah, I was lucky to get that.
yeah,
Because I was teaching guitar at the time, and one of my students' dad was the music supervisor. That's how I got the gig. So it was
wow,
like, hey, he's like, hey man, can you put a band together in 2 days? I
man.
could,
Oh, yeah, and you did, man. What a band. Robin's just an incredible singer.
oh yeah, I love Robin.
He's such a gentleman. He's been on the show a few times, and I always love having him. We end up talking, more family in Ireland and things like that. But then we talk music. But yeah, just a great guy and
Absolutely.
great singer. Yeah, that's a lot of fun to be able to do something like that for sure. Do you
I was
see
always
yourself doing
I was
that?
wanting to do more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, try and work in soundtrack or film or scoring and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, my company, Digital Assassin Music, it's a music library, and that's what I do. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
composing for movies or anything like the Def Leppard thing, but it's a music library of pre-existed recordings. It's all original music, and I place licensed songs to TV shows and promos and whatever you need music for.
Man,
I
that's
do that like all over the world. I have a lot of really really good sub publishers in like Australia and France and Italy, Japan, and so that keeps me really busy.
and that's cool. I think a lot of people, a lot of musicians forget about that realm, that aspect of making music where you can make music and not just have a band and go tour and play on stage and have your fans. There is the back alleys of music where that we need music for TV shows and movies and things like that, and those
Absolutely.
scenes. And I think there's a career there that a lot of people forget about. uh
Yeah, and today, I mean, being a musician, uh, it's a lot of band not making a lot of money just being in a band. It's
that's
very
very
hard to stay on the road. So it's like, you know, instead of going flipping burgers, I'd rather teach guitar or do music library or
right.
do music for somebody else.
Yeah,
So it's like you kind of need all these different elements to like survive in today's world. With the internet,
right.
all the computer software. I mean, we could do everything at home.
Yeah,
So it makes it a lot. It opens up a lot of doors. That's for sure.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, the opportunities are all there. And I
Look at
hope
podcasts. Do we think there is going to be all these podcasts like
I
10
know.
years ago?
I mean, and I've been doing it, 22, 23 years now. And, it was over the phone and it was transcribed and stuff like that. Now I'm sitting right here with Bryan Jay and we're shooting the shit and it's pretty great. I
I
got
know it's awesome. It's
it's
awesome.
yeah, it's really cool and it's great for fans. They get to see you, they get to hear you, hear the stories. The world's changing and a lot of it's for the better. There's I know I hear a lot of veteran musicians that are struggling with the new technology or they're not accepting the streaming or things
Right.
like that and that is it is difficult, it is different. But there are a lot of opportunities, I think, and I think the younger people are embracing a lot of it. And I hope that younger people don't forget about things like music library, where they can make music and make a living, and at least make some money to support what they want to do in a band on stage if that's what
Right.
they want to do. Uh,
Right.
yeah, don't forget about all those opportunities. Yeah, it's pretty great.
I mean, it's opened up so many doors, for different avenues that, we didn't have in the 70s and 80s. I mean,
Right.
it's
Yeah, that's pretty
changed so
cool.
much. It's done a lot of damage and it's
Oh
done
yeah,
a lot of good. So it's like
right.
with anything,
It's just adapting, it's just
uh,
adapting to
yeah, I
the
had a difficult time in the beginning. It's like,
sure.
it was like, okay, I could get software and record music in my bedroom. Like, I didn't know how to even use a computer at the time.
Right,
My
right.
whole computer learning experience was actually on music software.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was
that's
like, how
great.
do you copy and paste? How do you do that? you know,
It's pretty
uh,
cool.
so I learned the music side first, and then I learned how to use the computer later. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of interesting. But
That's the way to do it, man. That's so like the back of your hand now, I'm sure.
oh,
It's cool. You mentioned a band you were in before Dogbone, and I have to ask you, I was doing the research and everything, and I have known you from Keel for many years, and the Dogbone stuff, but I came across Sexist. Um, was that the band that you were talking about?
no,
Okay,
I was never in sexist.
okay,
That
you
was a
weren't.
friend of mine's
Okay,
band. I was
what was
friends
that?
with. Yeah, it was a friend of mine's band.
Okay, okay. Yeah, because you were mentioned in there, and I think it actually mentioned you as a member in like 82.
I
Uh
think I think I saw what you saw, and I was
okay.
like, put me in there. Yeah, no, no, I
Uh,
was never being sexist.
okay, okay, yeah, because I saw.
I like auditioned for the guitar player. He was putting a band together, and we played like a couple of days.
Okay,
But we never. I was never in. It was never a band, and we never played a show or anything.
okay,
And it
yeah,
wasn't called sexist. I don't know what it was called at the time,
yeah.
but
I heard that they changed their
the
name.
guitar player was in sexist.
Okay,
I
okay,
don't know if somebody somewhere along the line thought I
yeah,
played that.
right, right. Okay. Um, I know Ron's got a real love for the Keel album you guys did, Streets of Rock and Roll, as I do. It was just so great.
Yeah.
Um, I believe it's his favorite Keel record. Do you have a favorite Keel record? One that you really that sits close to your heart?
Yeah, that one's probably my favorite because it's the newest
Yeah,
and it was more of collaboration. Like it was a good record. I like that record a lot.
it is
You know,
great.
it's always the first one. Not that it's the best record, but it's your first album. You know, like Lay Down the Law when that first came out, it was like,
Right.
oh, you know, I'm on a record. Like, you know, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that moment of the first album, but if I'm gonna put an album on and listen, I'll listen to Streets of Rock and Roll.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's great. Gene Simmons, just got a chance to see him in Chicago on the end of the road, winding up his at least his live career. He's going to be a cartoon AI demon from this point on, I think. That's what their plans are. But you had a lot of interaction with Gene,
Yeah.
producing the first two records, right? The Keel records, the major label records. Any memories that stick out for you with Gene? I mean, everybody's got a Gene memory. Even I got a couple of those. But working so closely with him, you see the side that a lot of people don't see, most likely. Do you have a Gene memory, and how was that experience?
I have a lot of memories with Gene. I mean, it was he was very, very kind to me. We spent a lot of time together actually outside the studio. He would take me out to dinner. We'd go to shows. Uh, he kind of took care of me when I was in New York because I would fly to New York to do solos, you know, just myself. And it was usually me and Ron.
Right.
There was one time I stayed for a couple of weeks. I was by myself and he like took me out every night. We hung out all the time. We went to shows, went to see bands. Uh, and I just saw this other side of him. He just such an intelligent, great guy with, you know, a story that's, you know, pretty sad coming from, you know, where he came from.
Right.
And I just learned so much from the guy. You know,
Yeah.
he was like at that time my mentor. I mean, here I am in junior high school listening to Kiss Alive, you know, with a
Of
hockey
course.
stick in my room, acting like I'm Ace Frehley. And
Yep.
a few years later, I'm sitting here in a room with the guy,
Just
it's an amazing experience. But
yeah.
overall, you know, he was great for our band. I mean, he did so much for us. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
he put us overnight in the spotlight. You know,
Yeah.
I mean that first year was '84. I mean, you know, I first did the U.S. Metal #4. I did Speed Demon. It was a compilation on Shrapnel Records,
Okay. Yeah.
and that was the first thing I did. And like 2 weeks later, we're doing Lay Down the Law album. And like 2 months later, we're going to the studio with Gene Simmons doing The Right to Rock. So it was like
Unbelievable.
this very short period of time that, you know, I'm in the garage and all of a sudden I'm on this big stage in MTV. And, you know, it was like
So cool.
very quick.
Yeah.
And Gene was very like, he's like a teacher, you know, he was like showing us the ropes and, you know, how he does it. He was always so calm. I was very impressed. He never got angry.
Yeah.
Like even in the studio, like we would get in an argument or a fight, and you know, me and Ron or something. Like Gene would just be like, you know,
Yeah. It's
calm
so cool.
down. Let's go for a walk, Brian. He'd take me for a walk.
It's so cool. Yeah, he always seemed like an adult.
Yeah,
Even when he was an angsty young man, always that aged wisdom adult
Yes.
kind of disposition that he has. And
I have nothing but love for the guy. I mean, I haven't seen him in a long time. That's many, many years ago.
uh,
But I wish him well, his family and Shannon. Like I was there when he met Shannon,
oh, that's cool.
started going out. We would go out to dinner together, and she was very cool. It,
Yeah. Yeah,
it
and
was,
what a family. It's a great family. Nick and Sophie, they're great kids that he has, and they obviously love him. He was very good, good guy for them. And that's always
definitely.
nice to see, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, I felt like my life came full circle when I watched his The Last Kiss show, streamed it and everything from Madison Square Garden, and I went to see him in Chicago right before that. But I saw him when I was 8 years old, and it's really the reason I sit here with all of this. And found you and found all the rock and roll. It all started there. So
Yeah.
it was many thanks to Gene and the band for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing how, I mean, that we're still alive, first of all, that we can experience, this time.
Yeah,
And, there's just not too many of our hero bands from like the 70s that even all still alive. It's amazing that
yeah,
all the guys in Kiss and Black Sabbath are actually still alive, even though they
yeah.
don't all play together. But
Right.
so it's been such a trip and such a learning experience as a musician, just
Yeah,
watching your heroes and then getting to know your heroes and
yeah.
going on and doing your own things. And
It's cool.
but
It's
so
great.
Gene has a big place in my life.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, he did a lot for you guys early on, and I love seeing that. Using that star power to take a great band and put them where they belong. That's it's great that he did that for sure. Um, is there a song or piece of music that you've played, done in the past where you it sums up what demonstrates who you are as a musician? Is there one piece of music like if nobody's ever heard you play, what would you play for them?
That's a good question. It's funny you ask that question because my mind's always thinking like I got to write this one song and one piece of music that shows who I am. I
Right.
feel like I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
It's weird. I think about that all the time. It's very interesting you ask that question. Uh, yeah, I'm like, I don't think I've written that yet. There's a lot of songs that I like,
Right.
but I'm like, it's in here somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're
It keeps me
complex.
going.
Humans are complex things. We're complex animals. We got a lot that we need to show that we'd like to show, and it's not easy. Through a piece of music to get all of those little facets in there.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I'm into all kinds of different styles of music, even though I'm a metalhead rocker, at heart,
right.
but I like all kinds of music. And I listen
That's
to so many different styles of music. I'm into good songs, good music, uh,
yeah.
things that you feel, so
Yep.
so I feel like a lot of the things I've done, I'm writing for a project or for a film or TV or whatever it is, I'm doing it for somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Writing for myself, that's the goal, to be able to write for myself, and that's what I have to do. Maybe
Yeah.
to answer that question,
Yeah. Yeah.
hasn't come out yet completely.
Yeah.
There's a
Cool.
lot of stuff I like a lot,
Right.
but Streets of Rock and Roll, the songs on there that I wrote with Ron, those are really good songs. Probably the best that I've written in Keel, because I didn't get a lot of my songs on the Keel records in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, if you want to listen to a record, listen to that one. That's probably
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a great demonstration of the band really clicking. Great stuff for
yeah. We
sure.
did that very quickly too. That came together very quick.
That's, like I say, that's one of those things that, when it's on, push that button and let it be, you
I
know?
mean, it was actually the first time like Mark Ferrari and I, you know, got in a room together. We would demo our ideas and send them to Ron, and Ron would give us ideas. And so it was the most collaborative album that we've done.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think that's why it came out so good, because
Yeah,
it's a piece of all of us, you know.
definitely. Definitely. Um, After we wind up, let's say your phone rings. Uh, who would you most want on the other end of that call?
My dad.
Is your dad passed? Or
Yes.
okay. Yeah. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, would be.
I I feel that, give anything for one more conversation for sure. I get it for sure. Something that tops a bucket list for you, something you haven't done, you always wanted to do?
These are so many. It's like uh musically,
Yeah, or personally,
personally, anything.
yeah.
Geez, put me on the spot on that one, because there's so much I still want to do in life. I feel like my journey is it just always feels like it's just starting.
Yeah,
Never been to a place in my life where I feel like, okay, I'm good. You know, it's like
that, that's good, I
I
guess,
travel
right?
here, or I want to do this, I want to do that, but
Well,
but probably right off the top of my head is travel the world with my wife and just go see, because she's likes to travel too, and it would be great just to do like a world trip, and go to as many places as we can.
yeah,
Hopefully that'll happen at some point.
yeah, yeah.
I've been, I've been to a lot of places touring, but
Right,
when you're touring, you don't really get a lot of time to,
right.
sightsee and do things you want to do. So
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. That would be great. Yeah, I hope that happens for you. That's a very realistic thing, that could very well
absolutely,
happen.
we're already planning it.
Yeah, awesome, man. That's cool. That's cool.
What
Uh
about you?
so 2024 for Dogbone. You got another single coming. Will there be a full record eventually?
Well, that's, million
That's the
dollar
goal.
question. Like I don't know at this
Yeah,
point. I mean, right now, maybe EP, and it depends if we get any backing. I mean, we've been doing this all on our own, so
right.
we each have our own studios, as I was saying, and we're just sending files around and putting songs together.
Right.
So it's the process is so much different today,
Yeah.
and if we can get some momentum going here, basically have two more singles to put out. So we have one in January, and there'll be one after that, maybe a couple months after that. And I hope so. I would love to do a full record. I
Yeah.
mean, that would definitely be the goal. It'd be great to get out and play some shows.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
We'll,
going to ask you
we'll,
about touring. Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. As you know, if you don't get any interest, you put a band together, it's very difficult to
Sure.
move forward. So
Right.
see how it goes. But we got some great response off Speed Kills.
Mhm.
So, hopefully the next couple songs we put out, we'll see how people react to it.
Man, that's great. And
People like you, people like you that are getting this word out. So I appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's why I got into this is to take bands that need some promotion and get it out to people, fans who aren't going to hear them otherwise. Somebody needs to open their mouth and, say, "Hey, look at this." And that's what it's about for me. I love that. So when somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, you turn me on to that Dogbone stuff," I love that. Hey, that's great, man. That's spreading the love, spreading the music. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very cool. Ryan, man, it's been an absolute pleasure. Let's do it again, man. Next single, I'd love to talk to you again.
Yeah, I'll send you a copy.
All
Uh,
right.
things
Fa-
things get
Fantastic.
There'll be a
Awesome.
video along with it too.
Man, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, you like making the videos?
Yeah, I've been doing them myself, so it's like it's a new thing to learn, you
Yeah,
know, learning
yeah,
curve and doing
yeah,
everything with Final Cut Pro. It's
yeah,
like I love it. I just it's fun, you know. It's like
yeah.
putting like in the past videos, you know, you write the music and then you have this producers that have their own idea or you know they
Right,
see it differently. It's fun to like hear the music and go, oh, this is what I'm feeling when that part's on. And I could
right.
visual.
Yeah, your vision is actually coming to life, not somebody else's.
Right, right.
Yeah,
It's fun, you know. Hopefully people like it.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it.
Well,
Thanks so
thanks
much
a
for
lot,
your time.
Scott, man.
You
Yeah,
got it.
I appreciate you having me on here and definitely let's do this again.
Yeah, awesome. And I'll have links down below for everything to find the music, to find what you guys are doing, and everybody can keep in touch and listen to some Dogbone.
Great.
All
Awesome,
right,
man.
all
All right,
right.
man. Hey,
Take
Merry
care, bud.
Christmas.
You
Have a good
too, man.
one.
Bye bye.
All right, bye-bye.